I walked into the living room expecting to find him sprawled out on the couch, eyes glued to his phone, same as always. Instead, I caught him on the floor, cradling my friend's kitten, his face buried in its fur, smiling like I'd never seen before. My heart hammered, not because he was touching a cat, he'd told me since day one he was deathly allergic, but because he looked so happy, so free, I almost didn't recognize him. When he saw me, he froze, guilt written all over him, and I realized I wasn't witnessing an allergy attack, I was witnessing a confession. He tried to laugh it off, but the air was too thick with something I couldn't name. I demanded to know why he'd lied for so long, why he'd recoiled every time I mentioned getting a pet. He stared straight at me and said, "I'm not allergic to cats. I'm allergic to commitment." The words drilled into my chest. I thought about the months he'd spent dodging my questions about moving in together, the way he'd vanish for hours without explanation, the endless fights that ended in cold silence instead of answers. My mind spun to every rumor I'd ignored, every friend who'd warned me he was seen with someone else, always some excuse, some story, always me forgiving and him promising. But now all those nights he'd claimed to be homesick during my work trips snapped into focus. I felt sick myself, realizing he hadn't just lied about cats, he'd lied about everything. I demanded the truth, and he didn't fight it. He admitted there was someone else, that it was easier to play the victim of an allergy than to face what he wanted. I left him that night, but the twist came after, when I realized I wasn't angry that he cheated. I was angry he'd done it so quietly, so cowardly, hiding behind made-up stories instead of facing our problems head-on. The betrayal wasn't the other woman, it was the secret life he built inside our shared walls. I understood, in the end, that the allergy was real, just not to cats, but to the messiness and honesty of loving someone for real. And maybe, deep down, I had the same allergy too.